Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys are all doing well. We have got something a little bit different for you guys today and something I'm really hoping you are going to enjoy. I was lucky enough to be invited down to a Saint-Maximin Helios event, his new card game that he has been promoting for weeks and months, with a prize of £10,000 in the tournament. That's right, Saint Max put down 10 grand as prize money for this event. So I went there, really enjoyed it. Going to talk a little bit about the event and also about the card game. As I say, Saint Max has been promoting this game for a little while now, and I've seen a lot of you guys asking the question, how do you play? How do you get involved? I'm going to go through what I experienced at the event, what I thought of the game, and try and give a little bit of insider knowledge of how it works and how you can be involved in Saint-Maximin's Helios events. The event took place at Above, which is a new bar down on the Newcastle quayside, so great location, easy for everybody to get to. It's actually on the roof of the Vermont Hotel, so when you get there you get the lift straight up to the top. It's quite a posh bar, a very nice bar. It had fantastic views out the back of the River Tyne, of the Tyne Bridge. And when we arrived, I was there with my friend Terry. When we arrived, you had to roll 2 dice, and we rolled a 12. I'll reveal a little bit more of what that meant later on, but we rolled the highest score possible, a 12. And then we had the chance to meet some of the other players, some of the other guys who turned up for the tournament, including Saint-Maximin. He was a great bloke, and we will see more of him as we get on in this video. He actually put money behind the bar as well, so never mind the prize money, he was putting money behind the bar so that everybody could have drinks and really enjoy themselves on the night. So we spent a bit of time sitting down. You could order food as well if you wanted. Met some of the guys, and then Saint Max got things started. Saint-Maximin kicked things off by standing at the front and introducing himself. He went on to talk about Helios, the card game, what Helios is, the tournament, and what would be happening that evening. He also gave out some prizes to some players who had won at a previous tournament as well. This was not the first Helios tournament. There'd been plenty before this, and there's been more since this event as well, as Saint Max continues to promote Helios. And I will say as well, by the way, this was not a paid promotion. I literally just went down there with a friend. I had a great time. I suppose I did get a free beer when I was there, but I went down, had a great time. Saint Max is a great bloke. Learned a little bit more about a game that I didn't know about, and thought, you know what, I'll take a few clips and tell you guys about it. So, to get things started, there was 12 tables. The idea was like a league system. So you'd start on table 1. If you won your game, you go to table 2. If you won your game, you go to table 3. If you lost a game, you go back down to table 2. If you lost a game, you go back down to table 1. The problem is, there was loads of people there, so you can't all start on table 1. Everyone would start on a random table, which takes us back to when I rolled the dice on the way in and got a 12. So I started on the top table for someone who had no idea how to play the game, and every table had a teacher. So everybody there was kind of learning. Some knew what they were doing, some didn't. So every table had a teacher. And who was the teacher on the top table? Saint-Maximin himself. I was sat opposite Saint Max having a beer, playing cards. It was quite a surreal experience, to be honest, but he was such a lovely bloke, and he understood that some people knew what they were doing, some didn't. He started off by going through the rules with everybody, and I'll come on to all of that for you guys in a moment, but generally we spent a bit of time kind of going through it before we got stuck into the tournament. I am no Helios expert. This was my first and only time playing the game, but to try and give a little bit of background on what Helios is, what Saint Max is doing with the game, what we are playing today in this video at this tournament is a card game, is a board game. Saint Max has branched out a little bit into the online world as well with Helios, and is also hoping to promote this further in the universities, trying to have a society at the Newcastle and Northumbria universities, I think other universities around the country. He also is hoping to have like a Helios house where you can go play games, board games, other games. So he's really trying to build it up into this kind of community. But to keep it simple, in today's video, we will talk about the card game, which, as I say, I had never played before, but I'm going to explain a little bit about kind of how I got on, and with Saint Max as my teacher, how we did in this tournament. We started off by playing a basic version of Helios called President, and I will put the link down in the description to all of the game rules, and I'll also put the link to where you can buy the game as well. I think it is sold out at the moment, but I'm sure there'll be more very, very soon. And as someone who has very limited experience playing the basic version of the game, as I say, later on in the tournaments, they played the more advanced version, but I pretty much played mostly this basic version. And hopefully the Helios community will forgive me for my butchered explanation. But to try and keep it as simple as possible for anyone who hasn't played, I would say it's a mix between poker and Uno. The reason I say Uno is because it's a card game and it's around the table. There's a hierarchy of what card values there are. So if I put down a 3, you'd have to put down a 4, a 5 or higher, 6 or higher, 7 or higher. And the aim is to have no cards left at the end. So that's very similar. And also, there is face cards, but instead of like an Uno, it'll be +2, it'll be +5, skip a go. Helios is a little bit different and is a lot more tactful. There's more strategy to it, which is why I say it's like poker. You have to think about what you're doing. So, for example, one of the cards is give your worst card to somebody else. So you'll give your worst card to the person who is playing the best. That part's not chance. You have to think about what you're doing. You want to take the best card from somebody else, and that's why it's more like poker. It's far more strategized. The general principle is around the table, take it in turns, putting cards down, but the poker side of it is you have to think. You have to try and, as I say, beat your opponents. It's not down to what cards you got, it's down to how you play your cards. And it's good, it's fun. It takes a little bit of time to kind of work out what you're doing, obviously having to learn the cards, when to play the cards. Because that's another thing, if you don't want to take a go, you don't have to take a go. You can hold off. If you think it's better in your strategy to wait a turn, you can do. And I did okay. The ultimate way to play the game, as I say, is to have no cards left, and if you won, you got given points. Everybody played 3 games. If you won your game, not only did you get promoted to the higher table, but you also got given points. I think it was 500 points for the winner, 200 points for second place, 50 points for third place, and it all added up at the end of the 3 games as to whether you made it through to the finals. There was some players there who had picked up points in previous tournaments that they were able to put towards this tournament. I'm going to be honest, I did not get through to the final. I actually lost the first game, went down, got relegated to table 2, got promoted back to table 1. I think I might have got 50 points, but it was not enough to make it through to the finals. My friend Terry, who I was there with, did make it through to the finals. Big up him. He's actually been used in a couple of Helios adverts now, so well done to him. And as I say, this was all in the aim of trying to win the £10,000 prize. So I was not on the top table, but my friend was, and I was there to cheer him on. And as I say, there was a lot of people there. So what they did was set it up into 2 semi-finals. So everybody who got points from the tournament was able to play in one of the semi-finals. They put all of the tables together, all of the chairs together. Everybody stood around the edges and watched as the games played out. And as I say, when I was playing, it was in quite a small group. These semi-finals were in huge groups, which was a lot more interesting, a lot more intricate than maybe what I was playing earlier on. My friend, unfortunately, did not make it through to the final table, but that's okay. We had some beers and some pizza as we watched as they went on to the final. And that's when they played the full version of Helios, and that is where it got a little bit more complicated. There was dice, there was chips, a little bit more like a board game than a card game, but it was interesting to watch, as I say. And sometimes these games can go on quite a long time in the full version, especially with so many people. And what Saint Max did, instead of having one winner win 10 grand, he split everybody into two teams. Whether you were playing or watching, everybody was in a team. And there is only one winner in Helios, so whoever won, his team would win the 10 grand, whether you were watching, playing, or whatever. So everybody still had a chance to walk away with some winnings. I was not on the winning team. I did not win, but it's all right. I had a great time. Well done to the guy who won, or the guys who won, I should say. Good for them on winning. And as I say, when I went down there, I didn't even know there was going to be any prize money. I was happy with the free beer I got on the way in. So I had a great time. It was a fun event. If you're interested in getting involved with Helios, it's something that St. Max is clearly really pushing for. It is really rewarding people who want to be involved as well. So if it's something that takes your interest, you want to get out and be part of a group, a community. If you want to go out and play card games, have a laugh, maybe win some money, go and get involved. And when it's being done by potentially one of your favourite football players, if you're a Newcastle fan, then, why not get involved? So who knows, maybe I'll go to another one someday soon. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. I am continuing with the daily content. Obviously, this is something a little bit new. I am hoping to continue posting the normal stuff, but also really trying to get in some new fun stuff onto the channel as well. So if you have enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Helios, and I'll catch you later.
So you skip, you have to show your card. You skip. Take the hand. So you got after this one. What you say? Who put the first 9? So I skip so you can play higher. So now it's the 10.